And we're back. Some more oxygen not included. And our little metal refinement procedure over here is starting to finally yield steam. The water in here is starting to evaporate. Unfortunately, I'm wondering if that salt water will all evaporate there. There's 337 kilos of it, or if it'll start to spread out. You know what? We'll find out in a bit. But for now, we're ready to set up a second metal refinery. In fact, we could probably stick on a second steam turbine. We'll hold off on that for just 1 minute. But that means we're going to need to melt some more plastic. This should only take 2 seconds. We know what we're doing on this end, and we've already done this once already. You know, it's kind of weird. When you actually bother to insulate a place, it ends up nice and balmy. No one here is getting incinerated from coming over to this location anymore. Yeah, lesson learned. Insulate the area before you try and put in the temp shift plate. Anyway, that'll draw the heat out of there. That'll turn into naphtha. Then naphtha... Oh, come on. Seriously, there was 2 seconds left on that one. Okay, that naphtha is going to get sucked up by the liquid pump. That liquid pump is then going to pump that all up to here. And that's going to go over there into our metal refinery. And we should have 800 kilos of naphtha ready to go in a minute. Once that's finished pumping out. That worked out perfectly. Now, that means we can double our refinement speed, which we sort of desperately need. Okay, you connect up to there, and then we'll cancel any overrides that were potentially about to happen. Nice. Alright, we also stuck in a little bit of a light. Reason being that will help increase refinement speeds. That's 15%. And remember, this thing only draws power while it's active, so this thing is going to become power positive and soon actually be dumping power onto our grid. The steam in there is finally getting hot enough to generate us a little bit of power. I threw down just a couple of jumbo batteries to help tide us over. The reason being these 3 coal generators, they only produce 1800 watts and takes 1200, and that requires 1200. So running these with just coal generators was not quite working out. Well, not until these steam turbines come online, and we should have enough copper now to throw down a second one right about there. And that should mean we should be able to run both of these flat out, and with the power they're generating combined with the coal generators, we should be able to keep these things running, well, indefinitely now. And that's going to be refinement sorted for, well, indefinitely pretty much. We're just going to queue up 10 tons of copper and all of the iron to steel. That should keep those things running nicely. In fact, the amount of power this is generating is providing all the power it needs. Actually, no, never mind, the coal generators kicked in for a bit. But as you can see here, they're charging up the jumbo batteries massively as well. Lovely. Now, what was our next step? Our next step was to find ourselves some gold amalgam. Right now, we have all of the building blocks we need. We were going to have access to enough reed fibre and enough plastic from our Dreco farms. That will get us Atmo suits, and it will also get us, well, all of the plastic we require for the later level techs. As in, there's research here, where is it? This last level research requires plastic to get it. Plastic used in space in a space lab. But we don't have enough plastic yet, but we do have enough data analysis from, well, analyzing a bunch of steam geysers and vents. We use data banks. So we've got enough of them to knock out one piece of tech. And I'm thinking we go nuclear. Getting the nuclear tech now is just yes, because that's one of the things we need to do is get nuclear up and running. So all we need to do that is grab ourselves another station, grab ourselves a virtual planetarium, and we can chuck that down right there. In fact, yeah, let's just extend that wire on a bit. Now, one great thing about these heavy watt wires, you can upgrade them to, heavy watt conductive wire. They take the exact same amount of metal, it's just they take refined metal. So you can swap it from copper ore over to refined copper. So we're slowly going to keep swapping out our whole grid, including all of these these little copper wire ones, the terrible old ones. We can swap those out for wires that carry twice as much current as well. But we're putting down a skill scrubber. Reason being, we got to pick 3 people to go on our next colony mission. Our next colony mission is to this planet here. This planet has access to gold. We need this gold amalgam because that gold amalgam we can combine with oxygen to make oxalate. Right now, the only thing that's sort of hobbling our space program is we only have algae. Algae is all we've got for portable oxygen, unless we want to stick in a big oxygen tank on the ship itself. And we've only got about 5.9 tons of algae left. So what I would like to do is fly over to that planet, grab a whole bunch of gold amalgam and bring it back here so that we can make a whole bunch of oxalate to jam into our rockets. And then we can get to some real colonization. And by the time we're finished that, we should definitely have a huge influx of reed fibre and plastic to go along with it. While we're waiting for some of this to get built up, I think it's a good plan to maybe start rejigging this rocket. The problem we've got at the moment is the carbon dioxide, as in the carbon dioxide keeps accumulating at the bottom. I'm thinking, though, we can make a few changes here that should make this rocket a little bit less carbon dioxide problematic. To redo this capsule, we're going to stick in one of the wall toilets. And those things are under plumbing. And there you go, it's a wall toilet. It costs 100 plastic, which before we didn't have access to. As well as that, we're just not going to bother with any kind of cleaning. No, no hand sanitizing stations at all. We're going to let the natural balmy radiation of space take care of all of those hygiene problems for us. Well, in theory, I've been advised it should work, and I'm willing to take that risk. So we can expand this space out a bit. And you actually, we're going to copy those settings over there, and then we're going to deconstruct that fridge. The reason we're going to deconstruct that fridge is, well, we kind of want this space here. We want to put in a gas pump. We need a gas pump on the bottom of the map to filter out all of that nasty carbon dioxide and put it somewhere safe. And that should be pretty handy, actually. The first thing we're going to need for this, though, is the mini gas pump. And we couldn't put that down before because, well, we couldn't afford one. We didn't have the plastic. But now we can. Then all we have to do is, let's see, we will get that up there and we will stick on a gas bridge. Yeah, there should do fine. Then for the overflow, oh wow, yeah, we're going to basically have this zigzag all the way around the place. Namely because we can, and it allows us to store an awful lot of carbon dioxide. At some point we'll have to figure out how to empty the pipes, but there's no rush on that. Alright, that looks a little complicated, but don't worry, it'll all make sense once we plug it in. Which reminds me we should maybe run a power wire. And the system is now complete. This should be fairly straightforward. If we look under gas, you can see exactly how much carbon dioxide is down here. So let's hook up the power for it now. Conductive wire, meet that up, and it starts pumping. Now the thing is, since it's deep inside carbon dioxide, the first packet it's going to grab is carbon dioxide, which is great. That carbon dioxide is going to come up here, get sent across, and rotated through this gas valve. This gas valve is set to 1 gram per second. So what'll happen is, this comes in here, gets sucked in this section, and goes right back out the top and starts spinning around. So there will always be 1 gram of carbon dioxide here, just sitting there. What this means is any carbon dioxide that's going through this pipe will automatically get sucked across here and dumped into this long trail of piping. This piping is only here to act as storage, so we don't have to build a storage tank. You can store quite a lot of carbon dioxide in there. So as this goes along, it's going to keep pulling out 50 grams of carbon dioxide until it's pulled all the carbon dioxide out of the ship. Once all the carbon dioxide is gone, there'll be nothing left but oxygen, at which point it will start, of course, sucking the oxygen in. But that's okay. That oxygen will just overflow. It won't be able to get across here, so it'll end up flowing out this section and just getting recycled back into the ship. Now, I've thrown in an automation switch as well, because we won't want this on all the time, because occasionally we will have power shortages, or maybe it's just being annoying, whatever. But one quick automation switch and we're good. Now, bonuses and negatives. Why is this? No industrial machinery. What's the industrial machinery? Damn it, I think it's the automation switch, is it? Oh, my bad. I meant to put this on the opposite side of a door so that it wouldn't interfere with here. That gas pump is machinery, so it can't be in this section. But everything else is allowed just fine. So this is still a great haul, giving us the +6 mood bonus, which is good. And we'll just hook this up here. And there we go. We're getting that little bit of an overflow of oxygen. The oxygen gets shunted in there. Now, these powerless gas filters are just really handy. They save you a lot of space and time on ships like this. So in these sort of instances, I'm okay with using them. I normally don't bother. I normally just pay the straight up power cost of using a regular gas filter. But this works out quite nicely. In fact, let's have a look here. Yeah, it's almost habitable down the bottom of this ship. Good job. Our little gas pipe here is getting full of carbon dioxide, but we're taking care of it. We've set up a plumb command to extract the carbon dioxide from the pipe. And now we're just ending up with a bunch of, well, carbon dioxide bottles down here. We can dispose of them later. But this does mean you can sort of just let this run indefinitely if you really want to. And this does allow us to scrape out all of that carbon dioxide without too much effort. I'm thinking this ship is going to be quite stable in the future. Now, we've even stuck in a couple of extra storage bins so that we have room to bring all the gold amalgam back. All right, and back out here, we're skill scrubbing a couple of people. In fact, I think one of them just jumped out now. Yep, Brendan has been completely scrubbed. They are now spotlessly clean, and Sexy should be going along to that shortly wherever they are. Sexy, at some point. All right, we just want to make sure that their morale requirements are as low as possible for the upcoming trip. While we're waiting for Brendan to reskill a little bit, we've got them into digging and hauling. We're going to go fill up the rockets. Let's see, what are we looking at? Yeah, rockets are looking good, and the automation signal is on. Actually, we'll turn that off for the time being. Perfect. Then we just turn this sucker on. Which one turns on the gas pumps again? I keep forgetting. Yep. Perfect. All right, that should fill up that rocket. In fact, we can fill them both up now. When it comes to filling up the rockets, you're of course going to mess up and end up leaving a bunch of gas in the pipes. It's just, well, it's one of those things that happens. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. But we'll turn those off now. And as you'll see here, yep, the gas is going to block up because both of those are full and there's nowhere for the gas to go. You leave that in there, the gas pipes are going to exchange heat with the gas, and then next thing you know, those pipes start cracking. So instead, all we do is we just vent the end of it out into space. Easy peasy. And there we go. Now the pipes are clear, we don't have to go and repair anything later on. While that's going on, we're also running water pipes. We're going to run water all the way from over here to up to the ship. Now, the reason for that is we need to have some water for the toilets. Yeah, the toilets in there do need their own little bit of water as well. So we have set them up a little bit of water storage. And by water storage, I mean we're going to run these pipes 4 miles. And that should hold more than enough water to keep them toileted for a very, very long time. It's amazing how much stuff you end up cramming into these spaceships. Well, that should make sure we have plenty of water for the toilets. Excellent. I think we're just about ready to launch this. Well, yeah, once everyone mops up the little bit of a spill. Don't ask about the spill. Nothing happened. We have got our crew on board. We've got Brendan, Sexy, and Hubert. And all of them, I have changed their consumables. Just straight up, that was the first thing I did so that I wouldn't mess this up. The reason being I want them to have access to rad pills, and I also want them to have access to berry sludge. And I forgot something tonight. Damn it, I forgot to replace those bricks. Okay, fine. We'll replace those bricks and then we'll get off the ship. Got the team aboard. It's time to go a-pillaging. Oh, we also made sure we had a couple of Trailblazer modules on board. And as well as that, we stuck in 2 oxygen masks. Just so that we can do our landing and get things sorted. We're going to change that to over there. Perfection. Now let's launch this sucker. God. I'm really looking forward to when we get Oxide. It's going to make things so much simpler. You, begin launch sequence, and off you go. That should be able to take care of itself when it lands on the other side. In the meantime, research-wise, we have knocked out radiation. So radiation refinement is done, meaning we can now build uranium centrifuges and research reactors. So I'm thinking it's time to plan out where we're going to put our nuclear reactor. I was thinking, probably over here. I mean, I was also tempted to do it in space so we could have the radiation up top. But I'm thinking that's where the radioactive waste is going to go. So I was thinking probably down here somewhere. But that means we're going to need to have to ramp up uranium refinement. And for that, we're going to need to, well, consolidate all our beta hives into one... Beta hives into one place. So I'm thinking we turn this into a beta hive refinement area and then just dig up all the uranium and dump it in here. It would be nicer to refine it naturally, but we don't have that kind of time. So I'm thinking we excavate all of this area here and dump it all over this section. However, that means we're going to need a whole bunch of reed fiber. Currently, we only have 4. We have 4 units of reed fiber. But that's okay. What we can do is we can open the stores, and we've got a whole bunch of fresh Drecos in here. And then what we can do is... wait. There. We can do that there. And that's 8 Drecos, so that should give us more than enough reed fiber to get started. So I think there's 1 Dreco over here that's not sheared yet. Where are you? Where are you? Wait, no, never mind. They're... I thought there was one. Maybe they died off. Okay, so we'll shear those all up there, and that'll give us more than enough reed fiber to get started. Turns out our mealwood plants over here have stifled. That's not good. It looks like the temperature got a little bit warm here, or maybe the dirt we brought in was warm. I'm not sure. Over here it's fine, so I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we'll just run a little bit of water through there. That water will cool the place down. The water's 23 degrees to 27 or something like that. As long as it takes it down below 30 degrees, we'll be grand. Oh, we're waiting for the piping to go in and our reed fiber to accumulate. We're already up to 10 units, thankfully. We can have a quick check on our blueprints here, and I found this one duplicate, Abe. They've got suit wearing and supplying, which is 2 things that we always need. They've got mole hands for increased excavation, germ resistant, and they're yokel, which, well, we don't really care. We don't need another researcher. I'm thinking we're going to add them to the team. Please welcome Chris Dunham. They're going to end up being, well, a general all-around suit-wearing, carting around the place type of pawn. I'm thinking they're going to be very handy for actually moving stuff about on other planets. We're going to be building up a second rocket ship and double colonizing places. Well, at the moment we've got Oxlite, that is. 16 reed fiber is 8 suits. In fact, we'll put down about 4 for now. Yeah, give me 4 of those suits made out of copper. And then once they're done, we can break in down here. Now, where are we going to start? Probably somewhere central would be better. Yeah, if we say break in here, then we're going to have to excavate all the way out from left to right. And I think we want to excavate right first so that we can put down our sort of expansionist area for these the beta hives to replicate. I want about 6 beta hives down here, or beta hives. Oh, I'm going to keep mispronouncing that. But if we have 6 of those down there, we can definitely refine more than enough uranium. I mean, we already have, what, 2 tons in there and almost 2 tons in there. We've got more than enough to run a reactor for a while. But where do we put the atmodocs? Well, waiting for this to complete, it turns out our rocket has arrived in orbit. Well, that's nice. You guys, drop out the oxygen masks. Okay, we're going to drop down 2 people onto the planet's surface. This shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've already got a landing spot over here. Well, an entry point in. So all we need to do is drop down 2 landers, just deconstruct the landers, make 1 rocket landing pad and let everyone in. And we just need to put up some ladder segments. And we've got some sedimentary rock right there. This should be not terrible. All right, let's check the schedules, make sure everyone's wide awake and has plenty of time to build. I moved Brendan up here. They're going to be a little bit sleep deprived, but I think it'll be fast enough. That's both Brendan and Sexy all masked up and good to drop. All right, Sexy, you're in the first one. Brendan, you're in the second one. Let's deploy you down. And let's hope it... Yeah, every time you move it too far, it loses track of itself. Hey, we'll put you there. And then we want to deploy Brendan as well. And, yep, miles away as well. We'll put you... Good. There's perfect. Wait a minute, that's only one of you. Where's the other? I think we can only deploy one at a time, maybe. Yeah, there comes the second one. Deconstruct. Nope, nope. That's not happening. Up there. There you go, much better. Let's slow that down a tad. And you deconstruct that as well. Well, that gives us just enough for the rocket platform. Say right about there, I think is good. Don't want that exhaust cooking too much stuff. And then, why can't we build a ladder? You do realize there's sedimentary rock right there, guys. What's wrong with you? We're going to get Brendan to go build that ladder. And where are you going? How far are you going? Seriously? Come on. They can't use sedimentary rock to build a ladder for some reason. Even, like, what is going on? Can you not use... Wait a minute. Brendan has finally decided to come back up with ladder supplies. How's the radiation looking out here? 125. That's uncomfortable, but it could be worse, to be honest. Now, where are you going? No. You come back here. Well, their job is finished. They can get back inside. Now, I think we can get them to take off those gas masks. Yeah, unequipped suit. Thank you, and Brendan, you can unequip suit as well. This will, of course, expose you to massive, and I mean absolutely massive amounts of Slimelung germs. But that's okay. You'll probably be fine. I don't think I've ever had to deal with this much Slimelung before. It's going to take a while to get used to that. We're going to get you to land on the planet. Come on, get in there. Once they're landed, yeah, we're going to have them join us as well. Come on, buddy. You're going to magically appear just right there. There you go. Perfect. Now you can come join the team. Oh, yep. You're going to get immediately steamed, are you? Should have told you to stay inside, but no, it's fine. Only took a few seconds. Alright, perfect. Now, oxygen-wise, we're going to need to put 10 deodorizers and start filtering this polluted oxygen, of which there is just so much. But that's fine. We need to prioritize. We need to prioritize finishing this off. This here is going to be where, well, that's their sleeping quarters, so we want that up and running. And this is already a great haul, is it not? No. In that case, give me a Buddy Bud seed. Yep. Buddy Bud right there. In fact, we're going to make you a level, well, 9? Yeah, emergency thing. The reason we want the Buddy Bud in there is it gives off nice germs, and those nice germs should kill off the polluted oxygen germs. Well, that's the hope, anyway. The plug slugs are making this place a little bit of a nightmare by putting hydrogen everywhere. So we've made an executive decision to get rid of the plug slugs, just so that they're not as much as a problem. Christ, this is so annoying. And they're eating all of the ores. So I'm thinking, extermination? Yeah, extermination seems like a good plan. Yeah, those can all go as well. It feels wrong, but it's just they're eating all of the ores that we're leaving around the place. Plus, we already have plug slugs back home, so it doesn't really matter. We probably should do it slower, but I prefer to get things done thoroughly right now. We're not going to... Oh, yeah, we should probably gather up all the meat as well and store it here. I'll have to do some limiting on what they're allowed to eat, but we should be able to at least get some calories out of this. Oh, looks like Brendan is their first casualty. They've got slime lung, also yucky lungs, and hungry, and major eye irritation, and yeah, just not... Everything's not good. This is going to be problematic. Wow, Hubert, yep, got through the first night without getting... Wait, no, did they? No, they just got yucky lungs. They're fine. And we have to smash up rocks. The reason we got to smash up rocks is there's no sand on this map, like just none. So we've got to smash up rocks just so that we have some sand to put into the filtration so that we can actually stop all of this polluted oxygen everywhere. Yeah, this could take a moment. Or should we just grab the gold and run? I feel like we should at least put together a little bit of a base. And as well as that, you know what? Let's put down a mini pod. Yeah, we'll put down a mini pod, and then we'll set up some farms as well. I should have brought mealwood seeds. Actually, you know what? We can drop seeds off here. We can set this up so that it's capable of supporting someone, and then if we find someone good at the gate, we can print them out. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of a base just to make sure that it's stable for whoever we decide to print later on. But for the time being, we're just going to get enough to get us started, core out as much gold as we can, and then leg it. Slowly but surely, we're managing to purify the air just a little bit. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever had duplicants in an environment just this catastrophically filthy. But it's okay. Probably. I'm pretty sure they can't die from this, though. The Slimelung lasts for 5 days. Yeah, that's going to take a while to get rid of, and I'm pretty sure they're all going to get it. But in the morning, I'm pretty sure the other two, at least another one of them is going to get it, if not both of them. Oh, and don't forget to activate our little gate over here. We want to make sure we've got the option to start printing stuff on this end, just in case the correct duplicant comes along. And sand-wise, oh wow, just the amount of deodorizers we have running, and there's still just no clean oxygen anywhere. This is a nightmare. Fine. We'll leave one of them to smash the rock crusher, and that should be Sexy. Sexy can work this rock crusher. We'll get the other two out finding gold. There has got to be gold in them there hills. Where's our biggest vein of gold? Seriously? No. Oh, there's a nice big chunk over there. Oh, a couple of blobs in there. That is so much cobalt. Oh, wow. I kind of want to bring that home as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this area down here looks real tasty. And they've got coal. Coal as well, so we can start automating our power. Ooh, and there's a gold volcano. No. No. Stay focused. We're here for the gold. I think we'll put together a quick power generator here as well. While they're finishing this off over here, we need to go back home because we've got a whole bunch of atmosuits ready to go. Two of them are a little bit low in durability. They're the ones we use to excavate out here. So they're not quite super useful, but I think what we can do is go down here and actually start in on this. In fact, we're going to set that to enable auto-harvest. Because our duplicants are in atmosuits, they shouldn't get stung by the bees. They shouldn't get stung by the bees. That's the theory. Well, I'll be. It's actually working. Alright, so the bees haven't stung us. We can get an auto-harvest done. That means we should be able to knock out an achievement. That's one of the achievements, is to harvest one of these without getting stung. So if someone wants to go along and scoop out the uranium. Anyone? Anyone want to go along? No? Well, anyway, we'll go take out this down this side. This will give us a whole bunch of granite we can use to make ladder segments. Why are you scooping it out again so soon? The last one already scooped out. We've got, what, 2 tons of enriched uranium there? Yeah, we'll disable auto-harvest on that for a bit. But that's knocked us out one achievement. Yeah, extract uranium from a beta hive without getting stung. We have a lot more stuff to do. Radbolt's travels. Ooh. Yeah, we'll do that one later. Okay. What we're trying to do is just basically get our hands on all the necessary ingredients to knock out all of the achievements. There's no real things we need to really rush on, barring... Well, actually, there's nothing we can't get anymore, as in all of them are just require time and patience. Also, as well as that, I realized why we weren't able to harvest that initially. It was missing a block under it. You need to be able to stand there to actually extract the uranium. And where's the rest of our team? Shouldn't you be down here building this whole thing out for us? Going with the old faithful and reliable strategy, we're going to put a bunch of critter drop-offs in here, wrangle in some of those bee tinies and mutate them into beehives, beta hives. Or beta hives? In that case, though, we might want to get up above these now and put in some wall segments. Actually, we can just put a roof in from down here. That would be far simpler. What am I doing? Digging across the top is pointless. While excavating this out, we do have a gate activation, which is nice. However, this one has given us an opportunity. It's got fungal spores, so you can grow dust caps. That would actually help us out an awful lot on Ichion. Damn it, wrong thingy. Ichion over here has access to lots of slime, but it doesn't have access to fungal spores. This actually gives us a use for all the slime in this area. And that also reminded me, once you're off that phone, yeah, we're disabling that. Yeah, having them run all the way up here to do that is just pointless. They've been wasting time. I've turned off their ability to grab radiation, rad medication as well. And you guys, would you prioritize that, if you wouldn't mind? Once that's done, we won't need anyone to run on the wheel anymore, which should free up some time, and that rock crusher hasn't gone yet. We're just getting a little bit more cobalt ore. Down here, we've already dug out some of the coal. Next up, I'm thinking all of the gold, all of the cobalt, and we take that home with us, and ooh, it's a nice magma biome down here. We'll be back. We'll be back for a more permanent settlement, but for now, ooh, cobalt volcano. Oh, this place looks delicious. No. We just need the gold amalgam so that we can make oxalate. That's the only reason we came here. Down here, we have put ourselves these little quarantine sections where we can put in the bee tinies. Actually, how old is that bee tiny? This one over here is 2. When it turns about 2.5, I think, it tries to turn into something. Either a beta or a beta hive. So in other words, if it can't see a beta hive around, it'll turn into one. If it can see a beta hive around, it'll turn into a beta... whatever. It'll turn into a bee or a hive, one or the other, depending on what it can see. And since it's trapped behind doors, it thinks there's no beehives close by, and it just turns straight into a hive. And come on, you want to change, please, while people are watching? Well, there we go. Now that takes, I think it's, how many cycles does that take? About 4 or 5 or so before it actually matures. Wait, what? You were younger than that one. Why did you do... Seriously? Fine. Alright, now we've put a door up here because what we're going to do in the end is we're going to put a drop off here and just start dumping uranium in there. Just the uranium ore will go in here and then all the bees can gain access to it. Well, in time. For now, we're going to wait until more bee tiny show up. Going on the other planet, it's looking much nicer. We've managed to push an awful lot of that polluted oxygen back, though we've still got a lot to go. And over here, we have managed to make our... We've managed to make our way all the way down here and grab ourselves a bunch of coal, though I haven't really tucked into the cobalt or gold amalgam just yet. I need to let them finish off putting down, well, deodorizers as far as the eye can see, so that we can start killing off those germs. We got to go a long way, because the germs keep interacting with the normal oxygen, and they just keep pushing their way along. I mean, that's hydrogen in there, and it's just full of Slimelung germs, because even though germs can't live on the hydrogen, they're just exchanging with it so frequently they just keep popping back and forth. So we just need to get up a way to kill them, or as in turn everything into clean oxygen, and that will solve our problems. And why is that there? You can go. You're affecting airflow. After queuing up a little bit of building, I maybe got a little bit carried away in terms of putting down the deodorizers. I know I'm supposed to be just here for the gold, but I thought, you know, we might as well make an attempt at cleaning out all those germs. And if we put down all the deodorizers and get rid of all the polluted oxygen, that means eventually the germs would just die out, even when we're not here. And, you know, we have the coal generators there. In fact, we should put in we actually do have a mechanical engineer. Mechatronics engineer, so we could put in an auto sweeper here right beside the coal bin, make sure all the coal generators stay up, keep this whole place powered. I mean, the deodorizers would eventually run out of sand, but so long as they're stocked up before we go, it should keep this place clean so that when the next crew comes back or we print someone, this place would be perfectly habitable, because there's gold volcanoes and stuff here. I'd really like to take advantage of that. Anyway, let me finish off this area here. While all of this is going on, back home we've finished off doing all the beta hives. This is going to be our sort of, well, uranium refinement facility. We're going to have all of the bees in here just chewing through as much uranium as we can. Actually, how much uranium do we have lying around the place? That would be nice to know. We have 8 tons. Excellent. We're just going to dump all of that via the automatic dispensers in here, seal up the doors, and then we'll open it up later when we actually need it. For now, though, I think we're golden. And you put a tile under there, just so that we can extract that when the time comes. Oh, we're also going to have to go over here and extract all of this stuff as well. And, oh, that's another nice thing we can do. We can drop that carbon dioxide in there, and those betas will handily consume it all. This is a nice way to get rid of carbon dioxide, actually. Instead of having to use one of those carbon skimmers, these betas will just consume it all rapidly. Oh, and guys, come on, get the last 2. Don't be lazy. That is a ridiculous amount of cobalt ore. We're already up to 50 tons of the stuff. I'm still going to excavate it all out, though, but, you know, it just seems a little bit overkill at this point. As well as that, we should go across here and grab this gold amalgam. No. Cobalt first. I'm really curious to see how much is there. We're only going to bring back about... See, we can bring back about 40 tons of that. How much space have we got on the ship? I suppose what we could do is, say, fill that and that. So put in 40 tons of... Yeah, 40 tons of cobalt. That'd go a long way towards upgrading our power grid back home. But for now, let's just dig this out. Well, waiting to excavate out the last of this, we've got a gate activation, and it's a good one. We've got someone with athletics, machinery, and strength. So suit wearing, operating, and supplying. They'd make a perfect mechatronics engineer. We're not going to print them here, though. That would be a bad idea. No. Let's go back home and print them here. Yes, welcome to the team. I want to say Uda George? Huda George? I presume it's like what they're going for, but we're going to go with Uda George. Uda George, you're on board. No capital letters, no nothing. We're also replacing the entire grid, well, several parts of the grid with copper wire, as in the improved power wire version. Why not? And once that's converted over, we'll take all of that raw ore and smelt it up into, well, prettier ore. And down here, hey, they have actually started converting stuff. We've got 9 kilos of enriched uranium. None, 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 none. Seriously? Come on, guys. Some of you just, like, start working harder. There's a whole bunch of uranium there. How much uranium we got? We got a ton of uranium down there. You guys should be working a little bit harder on that, don't you think? All right, and now that that's started, actually no, I'll let them do the whole power grid first. We'll come back to that, and over here we're going to continue doing what we're doing, but I'm moving things a little bit around. These buddy bud seeds, they give off germs. Well, they can't give it off while they're in Slimelung, but once the Slimelung had died down enough, they really give off floral scent germs, and those floral scent germs have been spreading out. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use these as offensive weapons to exterminate the last of the Slimelung. So we're going to move one of the buddy buds over here, and then actually there's another buddy bud plant in there. Now we just need to get in there somehow to get... let me think. There we go. Quick excavation. We're in and we get ourselves another buddy bud. We are going to use that to push across here, and I want to annihilate all of the Slimelung germs on the left-hand side of the map. We've got... oh, damn it. A little bit of stuff up there. That's fine. That's fine. We can go force that down. This is actually going pretty well. We've managed to force these all the way back in here. There's a few little blobs, but I'm just going to leave a buddy bud there to make sure nothing gets past it. Otherwise, we're like all beautiful all the way out to here. Wait. Floral scent. Yeah, it's all floral scent germs, so it's killed off all of the Slimelung. We've just got a little bit of Slimelung up here we've got to take care of, and to the right it's actually looking pretty good as well. All that stuff's dying off too. I have no idea how it's worked this well, but this place is looking far less toxic than it did when we got here. Just a few little minor modifications here. That little change should make it easier for the gases to flow. We'll leave that buddy bud there. We can't put it in the hydrogen because it won't survive there, but the germ should go up, and yeah, all of those are starting to die out. Slowly but surely we are reclaiming this planet for the dupes. In fact, most of our dupes aren't even sick anymore. This is kind of nice. Actually, where does the germs end now? Yeah, I think we can move forward a little bit. Well, win-win on multiple fronts. The flower scent war has gone right ahead and killed off all of the Slimelung in this area, though it's slowly dredging its way through here, and it should push its way through there also. We'll put some more down here to wipe out the last of it, but that's almost the complete annihilation of all the Slimelung germs, which, honestly, I didn't think it was possible considering how badly infected this place was at the start. But next up, well, we've excavated most of the gold and most of the cobalt. Gold-wise, we're up to 36 tons. I think we'll have another 4 more. We'll go up to 40 tons of gold amalgam to bring back. And gold-wise, we managed to get 2.6 tons of gold because there's a gold volcano in here and it had just some raw gold lying around it. And there's also a bunch more gold amalgam there, and there's some reed fiber. So let's grab the reed fiber while we're here. I mean, there's so much good stuff everywhere. All dug. Now we've got buddy bud plant there, a couple of thimble reeds that are going to give us, what, that's 10 reed fiber and another 9 reed fiber. We're also going to take some of those seeds home with us. How many seeds have we got of that? We have 3 thimble reed seeds. Actually, that's more than enough. I don't want to dig up the rest. Let them stay here. They can keep generating even more for us. Also, what am I doing? They've got some data banks in here that we can grab onto. Perfect, they're already inspected, so we can grab those and bring them home with us. Maybe we can knock out one more research. I should probably analyze a vent or something, but I don't really want to open up a volcano just yet, or a natural gas geyser. Also, we don't have level 3 digging. You know what? Leave them. Don't care. We don't need them for what we have coming up next. Time to get out of here. We've got everything we need here and then some. Also, we stocked up the fridge with a lot of berry sludge. Why is there pack of fillets still in there? You know what? It doesn't matter. No one's going to eat them. But there's plenty of berry sludge, which means the next person who comes back will have 60,000 calories to work with. The other half is on the ship so that they've got something to go with. Now, we're just stockpiling all of our junk near here, so this is going to be where all the cobalt ore goes. We're going to take 40 tons of cobalt ore, and then about 40 tons of gold amalgam. Maybe a little bit less. We're going to try and bring all the buddy bud seed, thimble reed, and the actual refined gold as well with us. Should work out quite nicely. After a bit of messing about, we now have about... After messing about, we have 37 tons of gold amalgam, 2.6 tons of regular gold, and we also have a bunch of thimble reed seeds, stuff like that. But all of those can go. We'll copy that over. Perfect, we don't need to worry about that. And then all we do is stick in the cobalt. So we'll copy all those settings over to there as well. Then, if we just go outside, you'll notice we've got 2 things of cobalt right here ready to go. Meaning all they have to do is pop down here and they can grab the 40 tons. It's just otherwise they have a tendency to, well, do it in smaller chunks. And moving in and out of the doors and dealing with the radiation every time slows them down just way too much. There we go. It's going to take about 1.680 kilos of cobalt per minute, except for that guy who's going off to grab lunch. That's okay. You go grab lunch, it's grand. The other two can go finish this off. We can finally go home. We are finally loaded up. All of you can get on board. In fact, all of you can start consuming rad pills again. I think you're going to need them. We have everyone on board. We have taken all the resources we need, and we've installed a buddy bud on the ship. Namely because the buddy bud gives off floral scent germs, and floral scent germs reduce people's stress when they're exposed to them. Ah, there we go. Stress, minus 5% for smelled flowers. That's very handy, especially when you're on a ship like this. All right, all of you, time to leave. We're going to change your destination. It's time for you to head back home. Oh, and yeah, we got to go outside to launch it, don't we? What are you doing? Oh, unreachable storage modules. That's fine. Those, I was wondering what that exclamation mark was. Acknowledge warning and begin the launch sequence. Off you go. Perfect. This planet worked out excellently. I can't believe how well we managed to destroy all the germs. There's no germs left. The place is spotless. I kept moving the plants out, so there's no floral germs in the center of the base anymore, but all the edges out here are all covered in them, and we took a few of the seeds with us. All right. That takes care of a huge problem for us, because now, back home, we have access to plastic here. We're already up to... We've got 5.9 tons of plastic from this so far. We've also got 16 units of reed fibre, though. That'll start going up more and more as we start roping these things in. Hey, someone grab that and put it into the shearing room. This thing is set to store 20 critters. So, yeah, we can handle a few in there. Though once it gets too populated, we won't be able to wrangle them in like this. But soon that thing will be running at max capacity and we'll be just swimming in plastic and reed fibre. That will give us the resources we need to build a research module that we can send into space. And at the same time, I'm thinking we can core this area out and put it in our nuclear reactor. Or maybe take out that area there. We have so much random ice and things floating around the place. But I'm thinking nuclear reactor around here. We have more than enough... Oh my god. Our uranium production is doing good. Is doing real good. Oh, wow. What are you at? You are at 153, 171 kilos, 126 kilos, 153, 126, and 135 kilos, respectively. And it takes 10 kilos to run a reactor for a cycle. Which means, like, this thing alone could run 360 cycles. A reactor for 360 cycles. We are just sorted. We are so sorted for uranium. Should we do a double reactor? I don't think we really need a double reactor. Oh, no. Should we? No. Single reactor. Single reactor will be fine. I was thinking about actually trying to put the reactor in here, but just the radiation levels would be too high. We need to get our hands on some lead before we do that. Instead, we'll just we'll set up our reactor over here, seal it in, and then stay away from it once it's on, because it will radiate all our dupes if we try and go playing with it. We'll play with it later when we want to mutate some seeds. But for now, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.